Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive on something really interesting, Rwanda, and their strategy to become like you know, a, a major player in the sports world,
Yeah,
which I'd never really thought about it before, but they're doing it differently.
yeah.
So,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the surprising thing is that they're not, immediately focused on finding star athletes or winning championships right away.
Which you think of like, okay, well,
Yeah,
you get the team, then you
Right.
build the stadium, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the traditional model, but Rwanda's going a different route.
So what are they doing instead?
Well, they're focusing on building these amazing, world-class facilities and infrastructure first. They're saying, we're going to become a global sports destination.
Oh, so they're thinking big picture.
Exactly. They want to attract the big events.
Wow, and are they actually pulling it off?
Oh, absolutely. They built this incredible arena, the BK Arena, 10,000 seats, hosted the BAL finals.
Wow.
And that's just one example. Then you've got Amahoro Stadium, which is huge, like 45,000 people.
No kidding. So they're not messing around.
No, they're serious about this. And it's bringing in big events, international tennis, golf tournaments, you name it.
So it's not just about the prestige, there's actual economic impact too.
Absolutely. I mean, in 2023 alone, they brought in $13 million just from sports tourism.
Get out.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning.
Okay, so they've got these incredible venues, they're attracting these major events, but what about building up their own athletes? Like, what are they doing to nurture homegrown talent?
They are. And that's actually a great question. I mean, have you ever noticed those Visit Rwanda logos? Like on those jerseys, Arsenal, PSG,
Oh, yeah.
Bayern Munich even?
Yeah, I always thought that was pretty clever marketing.
It is, but it's more than just marketing. They've partnered with these European football giants, right? To actually tap into their expertise to establish youth academies, programs, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
It's about building a pipeline of Rwandan talent.
So it's really a long-term vision, not just a quick PR stunt.
Exactly. And it's not just about the infrastructure. It's about the people.
So how do they make sure that everything works together, you know?
Yeah.
You've got the facilities, you've got the programs, how do they connect the dots?
Yeah. Well, it's a team effort, right? You've got the Ministry of Sports,
Okay.
the Rwanda Convention Bureau, the Rwanda Development Board.
A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Right. But they need to be talking to each other.
Yeah.
There needs to be strong communication, collaboration, avoiding those blame games and all that.
Makes sense. So how do they do that? What's their secret sauce?
I think a big part of it is bringing in people who can really make a difference,
You're talking about people like Masai Ujiri?
Exactly. Yeah, the president of the Toronto Raptors, the founder of Giants of Africa.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, and he's been super involved in building basketball infrastructure in Rwanda, not just with the BK Arena,
Right.
but projects like the Zari Court, and they built 8 new courts across the country.
That's amazing. That's putting your money where your mouth is.
For sure.
So it sounds like they're really serious about this. It's not just like a one-off thing.
No, this is the real deal. And it's not just them working in isolation. They're bringing in global leaders in sport.
Okay.
Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president.
Right.
Even Gianni Infantino from FIFA. These guys are involved.
Wow. Having those kinds of names attached to it must be huge for their credibility.
It definitely adds legitimacy to their efforts. It shows they're serious.
Yeah, so they've got the facilities, they've got the programs,
Yeah.
they've got the big names, but it's still a gamble, right? What happens if the athletes don't develop as quickly as the infrastructure?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But that's why those partnerships are so important. Remember those youth programs we talked about? They're not just building stadiums, they're investing in the athletes too.
Okay, so it's about creating a more balanced approach.
Exactly. It's about building a sustainable ecosystem for sports in Rwanda, something that benefits everyone in the long run.
So they're playing the long game.
They are. They're building for the future, not just a quick win. And when you think about it like that, it really makes you wonder,
Could this be a blueprint for other developing nations? Can you really build a sports powerhouse if you focus on the infrastructure first?
yeah, I mean, that's the big question, right? It's definitely got people talking.
Yeah.
And I think what's really fascinating is this long-term vision,
Right.
They're not just thinking about the next couple of years, they're thinking about the next generation.
It's about building a legacy.
Exactly. And think about it. When you have these world-class facilities,
Yeah.
you attract those international events.
Right, which brings in the money, the attention, all of it.
Exactly. And that inspires the next generation of athletes,
Right, because those kids see these amazing events happening in their own backyard.
Exactly. It creates this ripple effect.
It's a bold strategy, I'll give them that. But it seems like it's paying off, at least so far. So do you think this is something that other countries could replicate?
It'll be really interesting to see what happens, because it really challenges the traditional way of thinking.
Right, it's like they're ripping up the playbook.
Exactly. And it shows that there's more than one way to build a successful sporting nation.
Yeah, that's for sure. So anyone listening who thought they had it all figured out, think again. Rwanda's proving that sometimes you got to build the arena before you can crown a champion.
That's a great way to put it.
So we'll be keeping an eye on Rwanda to see how this all plays out. And for anyone who wants to learn more, we'll be sure to link to that article in our show notes.
It's definitely worth a read.
It's really inspiring stuff.
It is.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Until next time.